morning, everybody. Oh, hello. Hello. Is that why you're crying? Because you want to be next to Mum? Oh, don't knock the things off. Okay. Okay, you settle down there then. Oh, now I'm spilling my drink. What a way to start the year, eh? Snuggles from a sunny gown. Good morning, everybody. Oh. And welcome to the first podcast of 2025. I'm Suzanne of Greenlambkin Yarn, and just down here, just out of view, let me see if I can show you. You're going to hear a lot of that noise now because she's chewing a bone. That's my little sunny girl, my little sunny doggy. We've not been out for a walk yet this morning because it's so windy. I've been out. I went for a coffee with a friend first thing after I dropped the kids off at school this morning because of the weather. I was in the car, but just that little bit of time being outside has made my hair even wilder than usual. So excuse the mop. I've had a couple of cups of coffee already this morning, and my sinuses and my ears and my throat are irritated and tender. So I've made myself a cup of spiced orange herbal tea with honey and elderberry cordial, which is made by my sister-in-law, and is really good for warding off germs and colds and things. Well, excuse me. I've got a couple of finished objects to show you, a couple of whips to show you, well, 3 whips to show you, a bit of acquisition and a bit of shop news. So this is my first FO. It's folded in half, but there's no point me opening it out because it's too big for me to be able to share it fully in this setup. So I'm just going to put it back here so that you can see it while I'm podcasting. I finished knitting this Cozy Memories. This is the Cozy Memories blanket. I can't remember who the designer is, but it's a mitered square blanket. And I started knitting it when I was pregnant with Cosmo, using sock scraps and things, and I've been working on it for many years. I finished knitting it a couple of years ago now, but you will all have heard me talk about my lovely friend Paula before. It was in Paula's basket because Paula likes darning in ends, and she agreed to darn the ends in on my blanket for me. So she's done that and just passed it back to me end of last week, or beginning of this week it was. So I'm trying to decide whether I want to bother putting an edging on it or not. Part of me thinks yes, that would be nice, and then part of me thinks, can I actually be bothered? So I'm not sure about that yet. But I'm really thrilled to have it back. There's so many memories of projects that I've knitted in it, and also memories of, I can remember when Cosmo was a toddler, he used to like to snuggle up under it whilst I was knitting on it. So we'd sit here in this corner, different settee, same room. We'd sit here and he would snuggle up under it next to me here whilst I was knitting away on it, and we'd watch children's television together, and that was lovely. I love that memory. Sorry, this is really nice and I don't want to stop sipping it now. Can you hear the wind whistling? We've got an amber weather warning. I'm sure it's what Paula would call black wind. Paula from Stitch by Mrs. D. Oh, in fact, I think she put a video out last week and I've not watched it yet. Anyway, so that's my first FO. I can't really remember what size needles I knitted it on. I think it was probably a 3mm needle, and it's all 4-ply sock weight yarn. A mixture of commercial and indy dyed, some of my own hand dyed. quite a lot of drops, Farball, loads and loads of stuff. I'd never be able to tell you what all of them were. Lots of swaps and things like that as well. So the next FO that I've got to show you is very exciting. Here they are. If you've been following me on Instagram or Facebook, you may have already seen these. These are the Magic Mini Mitts, and these are a new thing that I've got in my shop for sale. So these are DK Minis. And these are fingerless mitts knitted in DK, and they use 6 mini skeins. Now I've got these as a kit available in the shop. You can have them in classic DK, which is the non-sparkle merino nylon blend, or you can have them in sparkle DK, which is merino, nylon and stellina. So in the kit you get 6 minis of all different colours, but it's going to be a surprise, it's random. Loads and loads of different colours for me to pick from, and I'm going to curate each one individually, so you don't know what you're going to get until it comes. You'll get the 6 minis and the printed pattern, and I've had quite a few orders for them already, and I've just been waiting for some packaging to come in, which arrived last night, so I'll be able to pack those up and get them in the post now. But there's still lots of these sets available in the shop. So basically the pattern tells you how to do, you work out your own colour order, and then it's up to you whether you knit both mittens in the same order or whether you go rogue like me and completely mix them up for both. But it's a really simple construction. It's got 1x1 twisted rib cuffs at the bottom, the top and on the thumb. The thumb is uses a forethought line, and the instructions for that are in the pattern, but if people would like me to do a tutorial on how to put that thumb line in, I'm more than happy to. I've just advised to use the stretchy cast off or bind off technique. I use the, why can I not remember it now? Is it Jenny's? It's a surprisingly stretchy bind off, I think. But it's one where you use a yarn over in between every stitch that you cast off, and it gives you that nice and that very lovely wiggly edge when you cast off. So there's a bit of end darning in. You could weave them in as you go along, knit them in, but I always find that ends poke back out when I do that, so I actually darn them in afterwards, and I commit the cardinal sin of knotting my ends. But I know they're not going to come through when I do that, and that's what I like. So if you're interested in a set of those as a little treat for yourself, they're a nice thing to brighten up these winter days, and they're in the shop now, and I'll leave the link in the description below to the shop. So all you'll need is your normal notions and a set of knitting needles. It's done on a 3.5mm needle, I think, but yeah, I'm sure it's a 3.5. But obviously it will say that in the pattern. So that's my other FO. I've had loads of whips on the go, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to only show you the whips that I'm currently actively working on, because some of them have gone, like I've got 2 other pairs of socks on the needles at the moment, but I've put those on hold because I've decided to just work on one. These are all Christmas socks that I'm still working on the 24th of January. But I just don't get as much time to knit socks as I used to. So that's just how it goes. It's just a bit of a slower process for me these days. Perhaps I just need to cast on fewer socks. But there's just so much nice yarn. I mean, and I just love knitting socks. Anyway, stop talking about it and actually show them, Suzanne. So this is living in a bag that my lovely friend Davina made me. It was part of my advent. And I've got a pin on there, which was a gift to me from Rachel of So Ray Me. We always swap a little gift for Christmas, and it says officially on the nice list. So these are my Christmas Eve cast on socks, and I'm on my second one. They're a vanilla sock. I've not got my sock blockers, but you can see pretty well from here that it's just a 2x2 rib. It's all my usual statistics, 2.25 mil, 100 centimetre length, chow goo red lace needle, nice and sharp. I like to knit my socks magic loop, nice long leg, a 4/4 heel, a normal double decrease toe, finished off with Kitchener stitch, and the heel and the toe are both knitted in West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply. The yarn is Snuggly Stars yarn in Santa Baby, and I think it's just, I've got the ball band, let's stop guessing and actually tell you. Yeah, it's fabulous sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Snuggly Stars, Santa Baby. This was my gift from Paula, Christmas 2023. We always buy each other a skein of sock yarn for Christmas, and then I save mine and it becomes my Christmas cast on for the following year. So that's the first sock, and I've got my yarn cake living in my little wool yarn tub from Joe Pickle Lily. I don't think I'm even 50 grams, or 50% of the way through this skein yet. And I am this far down the sock. That green line there is my heel line. So I am past the heel. I knit this when I'm in the car, travelling anywhere as a passenger, obviously. I knit it when I go for coffee. I might knit it like if I'm just sitting down for 10 minutes and there's not a lot of point me getting a project out that takes longer to complete, a row or a round or whatever, I'll pick it up and do it then. Or sometimes if I'm just like at night, if I just want something completely mindless. But at the moment I don't really need that because of the other knitting project that I'm working on. Shall we show you that next? So living in my lovely Bolga basket with my advent tag, which I got from Rachel at So Ray Me. She made that for me. I've got also a lovely cute little Beanie Boo Christmas reindeer, and this is actually one of those phone chain charms that Ivy made me over Christmas. It's really sweet. It's got a little seashell that she collected. It's got tiny little toadstool charms and loads of different beads on it. But she did it, and then we discovered that my phone case doesn't have a little eyelet that I can hook it to. So I'll put it on my basket instead. It's too big for my wrist. So that's that. Anyway, in this basket is my advent project that I'm making with my DK advent from, I've just realised I'm partway through a round. That's because I put it down last night when my head hurt too much and I just wanted to sleep. I'm sure I've got something going on in my sinuses. I've probably already said that. I'm sitting on my foot and it's going dead. Right, okay. So I can show you this. I'll just have to jog the needles around a little bit. This is my What Mustard Made DK Advent. My God, have I enjoyed this. I am knitting, as inspired by Sharon from the Knitting Project, the understated, is it sweater? Let me just check the pattern to make sure that I'm telling you the proper name of it. It's just called Understated. Understated by Hohi Locatelli. It's an oversized slouchy jumper with dropped shoulders, a very low V-neck neckline, and a sort of a long short sleeve, above the elbow short sleeve. It's got this sort of 1x1 ribbed saddle here at the top. It's not a saddle shoulder, but it sort of reminds me of that a little bit. And Sharon wore hers that she'd made with a previous advent, DK advent, and I just fell in love with the idea of it. So here's where I am with it. I was knitting this throughout Advent, if you watch my Vlogmases. So it's a really interesting, really nice construction. You can see the neckline there comes right down here. Now, I'm obviously quite a big girl, and I'm also quite a tall girl, and I don't want it to be too cropped. It says to knit 40. Oh, Sunny, that bone is so spiky. It says to knit 40 centimetres from the underarm. I'm on about almost 30, so I've got at least another 10 centimetres to go before I get to the rib. But I want to make it a little bit longer. Now I'm on, this is day 21 of 25, so this is the next one that's going to be added in. I'm just this far round. They are huge rounds because it is so wide. It's oversized. It's meant to be very baggy, and that's what I wanted. But these colourways, oh my, look at these. I've fallen completely in love with this colourway, which is called Mushroom Munchies, this one. Now, Tracy has got all 25 of these Advent colourways now available as dye-to-order colours in her shop, which I think is just amazing. And I've asked Johnny and his parents to club together and buy me a jumper's worth, or a cardigan's worth of the 4-ply in the Mushroom Munchies colourway for my birthday, which is coming up in early March. So yes, I'm using ChowGoo, my ChowGoo interchangeable set. It's I think it's 3.5 for the rib. Pretty sure it's 3.5 for the rib and 4 for the body. Let me make sure I'm not misinforming. Yes, so it's DK yarn. It says recommended ease plus 20 inches or 50 centimetres, which is why it's so huge. Needles. Oh, 3mm, 3.5 and 4mm. So when I get to acquisitions, I'll talk more about this, but I have bought some extra 20 gram minis repeating the colourways so that I can make mine longer and to make sure I've got enough for the sleeves. And then I'm also going to use a DK from Stash, and I'm going to knit the neckline rib, the sleeve rib and the bottom rib on the hem rib on the jumper in a merino, because I think BFL, this is BFL, I think it's 100% BFL, I'll tell you in a little while, and it might be a little bit scratchy. I'm so sensitive around here. I've got a ranunculus that I knitted in merino and held it double with a strand of the Surrey alpaca lace weight, and that irritates my skin around my neck. I mean, I've got no chance with mohair if I can't even stand that lovely soft alpaca. So yes, I'm going to use a merino rib, and I think having a colour on all the edges will just sort of make it all come together. I did think about using black, but I think I'm going to go for like a dark maroon or something like that. I have got a really nice skein over there that was it was when I'd got loads of dye left in a pot and I didn't want to throw it away, so I wanged a skein of DK in the pot to absorb it all, and it's a really nice rich maroon, but it's sparkle DK, and I'm not sure whether I want to put sparkle on that or not. I'll see what it looks like when I've got everything else done, and I'll make my decision then. So that's my other knitting project, and then I've got 2 crochet projects on the go. So let's show you this one first. Stop for a sip. Now this is a bit of a longer term project. I'm not sure whether I've shown this previously. I'm very nearly finished with it. My hands are a little bit sore at the moment. My arthritis is quite flary. So I'm having to work on this in small bites, so to speak. This is the Nautical Crochet Coastline Hexi blanket. So that's the pattern. And I'll talk more about this when I come to shop news at the end as well. But I'm making a baby blanket at the moment with it, and I am using Shepya's, just get the yarn out the bag. Shepya's Stonewashed. This is the Moonstone colourway. It's 78% cotton and 22% acrylic. So soft, and it's got this lovely little halo of fluff on it. So it's very nearly done, as I say. This is a blanket for a baby who has actually now been born. So I've got two, you can see here I've got a gap at either end of this row, and I've got two half motifs there. Now the pattern doesn't contain a half motif, so I've just worked out how to do that. I've already got one in there. I need to put another one here and at the other end of this row, and then I'll get another row of 5. So I've got them here. I've got the order that I'm going to put them in. I literally just need to do the joining and then put the edging on. So in the end, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5x5 blanket. I would have liked to have done 5x6, but there wasn't quite enough of the colours to squeak that number of motifs out. So I'm just going to stick with this because it's going to be plenty big enough. And it's just really pretty colours. It's so soft. I've got enough of that Moonstone, the soft whitey cream colour, to put a nice border on it to increase the size of it that way a little bit, and I think that's going to be absolutely fine. So it's join as you go, which I really like, and I'm using a 3.5mm hook, if you can see that. Hopefully that came into focus. Do you know, I can't remember what brand this hook is, but it's got like a soft, low impact, soft crochet handle. And that's living in a really nice project bag that my sister Laura made for me a few years ago. She's Craftmongalore on Instagram. And some nice fairy tale fabric. So that's that, and then on to the last work in progress, which is my other advent, which was a gift. It's living in another Craftmongalore project bag. That's a Christmas one. I've got a really cute little sock key ring on here. That was from the So Raimi shop. I bought that a few years ago now. I don't know if Rachel still has those in the shop or not. And then I've also got a bag charm, which I made, which was part of not 2023's Christmas Day box that was in. Now this is the Just Feel Festive wrap by Kalisha Ryan. You've heard me talk about this before. I don't know whether this is joined on or not. I'm making this in the advent that was gifted to me by Paula, my lovely friend Paula. We swap an advent every year, and this one was dyed by Verity of Truly Hooked, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm using a 3.5mm Chowgoo crochet hook. Now this, I can tell you, I sell these in the shop, so that's where I got this one from. And I absolutely love using it. The hook is really nice, really smooth. No snags or anything, and the handle feels great in your hand, and it's got a nice big grip. I crochet overhand. I used to crochet like this, but it puts too much pressure on my CMC joint of my thumb, which has got arthritis in it. So I now hold it like a butter knife, you know, knife and fork, and I hold it like that and work like that, and that's great for me. So yes, 3.5 mil. Oh, I've got the pattern in here I didn't realise I had. I can show you carefully so that you don't see the actual. Just feel festive. And that's what it looks like. It's actually designed to be it's meant to use 20-gram fingering weight mini skeins. Yarn is held double, so DK weight can be substituted, but please check your gauge. So I changed my hook size. It's meant to be done using 5mm crochet hook. I'm using a 3.5, and I'm just doing it a single strand of fingering weight. I'm using the same chain stitch count, chain 84, so it's narrower, but I wanted to make sure that I got to use up, because I'm using 10-gram mini skeins. These are the numbers. I've tucked them into the skeins so that I don't mess the order up. I've got a progress keeper on here, which is a Chapel View Crafts one, which was part of my Christmas gift this year from Rachel of So Ray Me, and I'm over halfway through with it. So this is where we started. And with my 10-gram mini, I'm managing to get 5 rows of the mini, and then I'm putting 2 rows of this green, which is my glossy leaves colourway. So it's the sparkle sock base. The minis are sparkly, and the main colour is sparkly also. So I'm over halfway. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've done 13 colours. It's already as long as my span. I could probably have made it wider and just done 4 rows, and it would still turn out plenty long enough. But I like to be able to wrap round and around. I've made this design before, and I really like it when it's nice and long, so that I can wrap it up and snuggle it round lots of times and feel all cosy. Oh, that's another crochet hook. I was going to use, and it's too small. I bought this from my local haberdashery. I've never actually tried it yet. It's a 3mm hook. But isn't it pretty? I couldn't resist that. Too sparkly. So that's an ongoing project. I've not done anything on it for a little while because my hands, and also because that baby blanket needs to get finished. So on to, that's all the whips I'm going to show you. As I say, I've got my blanket from last year's blanket club that I still need to finish. I've got 2 other lots of socks. One of them's my Yarn Badger Advent socks. They aren't finished. Now I'm going to be talking about we'll do acquisitions first and then move on to shop news. I've only got 2 acquisitions to show. The first one was from So Sweet Violet. I wanted to support Bryony and Jules as their shop's shut down now, and I absolutely love their things. So I bought two little bits and bobs from the shop. Now the first one is, oh my word, Sharon showed that she bought these on her podcast as well, Sharon from the Knitting Project, and she said exactly what I thought about it. You could wear these on a necklace. So they're these lovely crystal drops. You've got 3 stitch markers on really nice rings. And that one, that's a progress keeper. So yeah, I don't know what project they're for yet. Obviously not just the one, but I should keep those for something special. And then I also got this progress keeper, and this I'm going to use on my Whitmore cardigan when I start it. Can you see that lovely moon moth? And it's also got like a little dangly bead charm on it as well. So I'm going to put those away safely now that I've shown them. Keep them until I start my Whitmore cardigan. And the other thing that I got was more minis. More minis from Tracy at What Mustard Made. She sent me a couple of really cute little stickers, which I love. And she sent me this little, I'm assuming this is a 10-gram mini, and it's got a progress keeper on it as well, which is a little, is it a little skull and crossbones? Yes, it's a skull and crossbones with a bow in its hair. So that's that mini. And then I ordered 6 of the little 20-gram minis. These were all the advent colourways. So this one is Reef Rambling. It is 100% BFL. Feels amazing in the hand, but I know it's just gonna rub my neck up the wrong way. This one, my favourite, Mushroom Munches. Oh, I mean, too beautiful. Lime Punch. I loved how that one knitted up. Fairy Freckles. Sorry if the lights changed, the sun has now come out. This was another really favourite one. Dark Neon Heart. And Pop Rocks. Absolutely gorgeous. Should put those back in the box. So these are all available dye to order in Tracy's shop. I think she says 2 to 3 week turnaround time, but I'm sure it was faster than that for me anyway. Obviously that doesn't mean that it's going to be faster every time, but yeah, I dropped lucky with that. And as I say, I'm going to be ordering, I think what I'm going to do is, because she offers all of her, it's so good, all of her colourways are available on 20, 50 and 100 gram skeins. Now I'm going to order the Mushroom Munches on 4-ply, and what I think I'm going to do is order 3 100 gram skeins and 1 50 gram skein, which should get me enough to make a really nice cardigan. And I can't decide whether to knit a 4-ply cardie or whether to hold it double with a strand of the mohair silk. No, not mohair, the alpaca silk floof. I'm going to make an open fronted cardie, so it won't be in contact with this bit of my neck at all, so that won't matter. in this case. But yeah, I think I might do that and dye it a really subtle sort of light plummy purple and hold them together. I think that might work really well. So that's the only acquisitions that I've really got to show of any note. I'm gonna dye some green yarn to use with my my new blanket club. Takes us smoothly into shop news, so I'll dye that and I'll show you that next time. So I'm going to be making that coastline Hexi blanket again for my blanket club this year. The theme of the club is Blooming Lovely, and it's the same setup as the club was last year, 4 20-gram DK minis on either the classic base or the sparkle base per month. The theme for this year is Blooming Lovely. Each month the 4 minis are going to be inspired by and based on the colours of a specific plant. It will be seasonal, so each month you'll get the 4 minis. You'll also get an information card telling you a little bit of background information about the plant that I'm used as inspiration, so that you can go and Google it and look at images of it and say, oh, I see where the colourways have come from, if you don't know that plant already. So I'm going to use that, and I've already worked it out. I should show you this really. Bear with. We should have some music playing. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Name that tune if you know it. You're a person of a certain age. We don't like women of a certain age, do we? Well, tough titties, because we're here and we aren't going away. I wanted to check whether I could get 2 motifs in this pattern out of 1 20-gram mini, and I can. That's the nugget I've got left over. I haven't weighed it. I don't think my scales are sensitive enough, but I reckon that's 1 gram or less of yarn left over and 2 of the central motifs. This is just one of the leftover mini skeins I've got from the last year's blanket club, the secret treasure box. So I got 2 of these. So I'm going to make the coastline Hexi blanket by Naughty Crog Crochet. You make it into a hexagon using an edging colour. I'm going to dye myself a variegated green to do that in. I've had a look at commercial yarns in my local yarn shop and on Wool Warehouse, and I haven't seen anything that fits the bill that I want. Excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. That was Amazon delivering me what I think is a lampshade for my bedside lamp. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm going to dye a variegated green to edge those with, because I can get 2 out of it. I worked out that it will be, it'll be 8 motifs long by 12 rows. That's right, 8 by 12. So each row I'm going to have 2 of each colourway. So I'm going to go 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and then in February I'll go 5 6 7 8, 5 6 7 8 across, and I'll do it like that. I'm not going to be able to do half motifs, so I'll follow the pattern proper with the edging and everything for that. The pattern does have a really nice bobbly edging on it, so yeah, I want to do that on that, but I didn't want to put bobbles on a baby blanket because I thought they might be a little bit, you know, if they get the little fingers around them or chew on them, they could chew one off once they've got teeth. So yeah, back to shop news. That's the Blooming Lovely Blanket Club. It's still available in the shop and will be available until the 31st of January. I am starting to dye them, but I'm dyeing enough of an excess quantity to hopefully make sure that I've got plenty for everybody. If I don't, I'm writing down the recipe so I can dye some more up quickly if I need to. The only difference with that, as I said last time I was talking about it on the last video that I made, is that it will be done, it'll be debited from your account each month. And the way we understand it's going to work is, say if you want it to come out on the 28th of the month, if you buy it on the 28th of January, it will be then taken on the 28th of every month after that. That's how we anticipate it's going to work. If it's different to that, then obviously we will sort it out quickly to make sure that it's not coming out on a date when people don't want it to. But as far as I'm aware, that's how this is new for us. We've never done it before, and it's not always that clear. But as far as we're aware, that's how it's going to work. So that's the Blooming Lovely Blanket Club, a 12-month club. We also have the Works of William Shakespeare Sock Club. That's still available. All the same things apply for that. That's going to be going until the end of January. I am busy dyeing yarn as we speak. Well, not as we speak, but I'm in the process of preparing and dyeing those clubs now. So yeah, I'm really excited about both of these themes. So many ideas, and they are all sort of seasonally based as well. Other shop news. A lot of people have been asking me about Advent this year. Am I doing one? Yes, I am. I can't imagine not doing one. That will be the same as all the other years, but if you've not done it before, you won't know. My Advent club runs from March to October, so it's an 8-month club, and you will receive 3 parcels per month. So each month you'll get 3 numbered packages until you get up to 24, because 8 divided by 3. There we go. So yeah, that will still be available on Sparkle Sock only. If I try to do 10 gram and 20 gram in Sparkle Sock and Classic Sock, I am going to get things wrong, because I am a bear of very little brain. I get very easily confused. I'm not a very well organised person. So as I specialise in the sparkly bases anyway, and that's my favourite, that's what I'm sticking to. I've decided the theme, but I need to tie a few ends up, so I'm not going to introduce that until probably next month. But it will be coming as of the 1st of March. And it will be the same setup. So instead of having to go and manually order it every month, you'll be able to sign up for it, and then it will happen automatically. You won't have to think about it again. If you want to think about it, you can do one-time purchasing. So that's not a problem if you want to be in control of when it comes out, but then obviously you've got to be able to remember to do it every month. By the way, if ever anybody does do that and they think, oh damn it, I've missed a month, just message me, because I'm always happy to catch people up if I can. So yeah, the idea of someone not having the full set really upsets me. So I try to make sure that happens wherever possible. I don't think I've ever actually managed to let anyone down with that, thank goodness. That's that. With the Advent Club, the only thing that we're thinking is we're going to do differently is, as from the day I started Advent some years ago, I've always had a gift in every one of the 24 bags. A drink. It used to be a sweet, but we can't do sweets anymore after a few mishaps with them getting put near hot things and the sweets melting. So that's a no-go. Little notions, trinkets, stickers, all sorts of different things have gone in them. It can be it's quite costly, and also trying to find things that are a reasonable cost, which people will want, and all that. It's a bit hit and miss sometimes. I did struggle last year with working out what I could put in after not having any sweets. There's always a progress keeper once, or a stitch marker once a month, but pending what you all think, what I'm planning to do this year is have one gift every month. So maybe in day 3, day 6, day 9, day 12, etc. you get a gift, but it's a slightly bigger, higher value gift. So you're still getting the same amount of value from it, but that money is going towards something that's a little bit more substantial or a little bit more valuable, higher value, if that makes sense, so that I can put a little bit more thought into it, and so that I don't feel like I'm just scratching around for ideas of, oh, what can I put in that's not too expensive? Because 24 separate gift ideas is quite a lot to think about and sort, really. So instead of one progress keeper, it might be a set of progress keepers, or a set of 6 stitch markers on a really nice ring, or a bag charm, or something like that, and other ideas as well. Just nothing that can melt, no soap, no candles, no chocolate, no sweets, because yeah, that just gets really messy. So that's the only thing that I'm thinking will change with the Advent this year. It also makes it easier for me to do gifts which sort of fit in with the theme of it. I'd like to do Mother's Day boxes. I need to check when Mother's Day is and get on with doing that. I've not worked out a theme for that yet, but I will do very soon. And I've also got a really nice idea for a new Easter colourway this year. So I'll soon be starting getting Easter yarns dyed up and in the shop as well. I think that's all I've got to say shop news wise. Oh, GK yarns are on 20% off sale in the shop until the end of January. So if you fancy a skein or 2 of DK for a hat, mitts, whatever, even a garment, they're all on 20% off at the moment. Yeah, I think that's it. Now the sun's out, I'm going to go and take this sunny bear for a walk and brave the wind. Might put a hat over my ears. Now it doesn't matter, I can have messy hair for the rest of the day now and I won't care. And then I'm going to get on, pack up these mini mitts, these magic mini mitts kits, and get those out, and I'm going to get some of this Blooming Lovely Blanket Club yarn dyed. Very excited to get started. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Friday and a lovely weekend, no matter what you're doing. If you have got horrid weather or weather conditions where you are, stay safe, stay warm, stay dry. And all that's left to say is happy stitching, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Ta-ta for now.